Hi there, welcome to my channel. I have another custom design video to share with everyone today, and I've made a bunch of new portraits for everyone to see and download because I'll be posting all of these to my creator catalog, and all these codes will be ready for everyone to use as soon as this video is live. So if you're watching right now, you can access my catalog and start searching for these designs. My creator code as well as each custom design code will be available in the description below. I'll also have each code available in the bottom left corner of this video as we go through each design and visit each villager's home. To begin this video, I have a very special design to share, and this was actually a request. The character is a New Horizons fan favorite, and it's Judy the Cub. So I usually focus on the villagers who live on my island, but I'll be accepting requests from now on. So just feel free to leave a comment down below or DM me on my Instagram, which is the same as my YouTube name at wowVJsLTR. And if I ever have some extra time, I'll attempt to draw those characters and I'll message or comment you back with all of the details. So anywho, back to Judy. Since she doesn't live on my island, I flew to this wonderful place called Chatham Island to visit Judy, as well as see how my design was used in front of her home. I'll also do a quick sped up tour of her house for all of you Judy fans and for those who are curious on what Judy's house looks like. Plus, I didn't want to clickbait anyone who's interested in Judy, so I had to follow through and have her featured in my video in some way, shape, or form. Because I'm an honest person. What can I say? I'm just great. Just kidding. So this is Judy's portrait and how it's being used. Very similar to my island. So used as a floor design. And the requester said that the exterior isn't done yet, but they did add a nice little transparent design to the left and right of Judy's portrait, which resembles that glare in her eye, but in pink and blue. I love how it's transparent and it's over stone path flooring. Looks really nice. Turned out so good. Can't wait to see the finished product. So for all of you Judy fans out there and anyone curious about what Judy's house looks like, here's a quick sped up tour, and it is very simple. I love it. Really enjoy that blue dotted flooring, and she has starlights on the top going all throughout her house, which is a wonderful touch. She's such an adorable character. Fun fact, I actually did the villager hunt for this person to ultimately get Judy on her island. It took 15 tickets, which was far less than I imagined, and for those of you who follow my channel closely, yes, this is Sugarberry Smash's island. Anyway, before we head back to my island, let's take a look at Judy's floor design out. She was actually really easy to draw, but the only thing that I couldn't replicate was how the blue and pinkish purplish area on the top of her head blend together and kind of fade into each other. So I just made two solid colors for the portrait, the pink and blue side, so it's kind of hard to blend that in. While we're browsing through my posted designs, here's a portrait that I teased last week, and that's Cookie the Dogs. So if anyone's interested in seeing me draw a portrait live or in real time, well, kind of sped up real time, click the card above to see me drawing Cookie. So here's her info, and a week or so ago, I said farewell to one of my favorite villagers, and that was Cherry the dog. So I made a portrait of her before she left, and here's that information. So let's take a look at the outside of Cookie's home, and I'll also reveal my new mural area for when a villager that I really like moves away. So one of Cookie's obvious colors is pink, but she also likes green or mint green. So that's why there's a slim little mint green border around Cookie's face, which kind of frames the whole entire portrait. I kind of cheat and do a zoomed in version of their faces because for the dog characters specifically, they have this awkward pear-shaped head, and there's some limitations when it comes to drawing in the designer app. It's basically like pixel drawing, and I'm not the most artistic person, so I had to find ways to get past my own limitations. So that's why a lot of my portraits are a bit zoomed in or have frames around them. And I had to kind of do a quick little messy crop right there because Meringue would just not leave Cookie's front yard alone. So she kind of just disappeared and vanished into the wilderness of Animal Crossing right now. But here's the little mural area that I talked about. And so far I only have Cookie there. Cherry, sorry, all these dog names with C's. So that's where Cherry's gonna be from now on. I know I've had other villagers who've lived on my island move away, but none of them have kind of left that impact that Cherry has left on my fondness for this game. I never liked the Uchi personality villagers until I met Cherry. Anyway, moving on. Here's another fan favorite, and he happens to live on my island, and I think that this might be my best portrait that I've ever made. So kind of tooting my own horn a bit there, and there's the design code. So if you want to write that down, feel free to. If not, it's in the description below and also in the bottom left corner. But this is my custom design for Dom the sheep. And fun fact for this one, it was actually one of the easiest to draw because he has so many distinct features, but they're so rounded and so easy to kind of imitate and replicate, especially with his eyes, his like forever sad eyes, which always looks like they're anxiety filled, like he's gonna have a mental breakdown any moment. Those two little glimmers, the big, more pupilish area, and then the small little glimmer to the bottom corner of each eye is actually what kind of differentiates him and how much easier he is to draw, because as soon as you have those on there, you can tell it's Dom right away. And then you just add a little fuzzy, furry, wool-like surrounding his face, you know, how sheep look, and that's all you do for Dom. And then you just kind of have to make some awkward frowning faces as well as eyebrows that curve in a weird way, just because he looks so uneasy all the time. So his was really easy to draw. This one actually only took me 5 minutes to draw, and I kind of regret not doing this one live because I originally thought that it was going to be very difficult. But overall, it was really quick and painless, and my favorite portrait to this date. So I have Meringue, Diana, and Octavian left, and I think they're going to be some of the hardest to draw for me. So with that said, the hardest one of this bunch of portraits has to be this next villager that I'm about to go to right now, and that's Felicity the cat. She is a tough one because she has all these little details and her bangs on her head, and I don't know, drawing her kind of almost looks like a villager or like a human villager. And I mentioned earlier that I have my own limitations and I can barely get the character's head onto the drawing, so a lot of people mistake her house for another human villager's house that might live on my island. But one day I might revamp this and get her pointy ears in there so people will know that the portrait in front of that house is actually Felicity's. And speaking of Felicity, she has to be one of the most underrated cats because automatically people refer to Bob and now Raymond, and Felicity gets lost in the mix. But I think that she's one of the cutest characters in the game, and she needs a little more love from the Animal Crossing community. So this is mostly for you Felicity fans out there, and if you feel like she's neglected, put this mural or portrait somewhere on your island and show Felicity some love. But the frame around Felicity's face is mostly inspired by that little plaid dress that she wears when you first meet her in the game. Her default dress that the game gives her. It's a yellow, orange, and green design dress, so that's why those three colors are there. And I kind of got her face shape or where her chin is, so that's the best that I can do as of right now. But hopefully I can improve this painting or improve this portrait as the time goes on, or as my drawing skills gets better with this custom designer app. So here's one last look at Felicity's yard and home, and let's move on to one of my favorite villagers in this game, who happens to be one of my surviving doggy villagers, Bones. So when I first started making Animal Crossing videos, I had this vision that I wanted a dog themed island, and I wanted at least 5 dog villagers. But as the game has gone on for me, and it's going on the 4th month in about a week, that's changed. And I already let go of Cherry, who I said I wouldn't let go of, and I feel that Bones' time might be up soon too. Mostly because Bones was one of the 3 DIY houses in the beginning of the game, and he doesn't have his real house here, or his actually themed home. And his house is actually a really cool library. And if he leaves, he'll actually be able to grace someone else's island and have his real house there. So hopefully it ends up being someone that I know and that I can visit him from time to time. And you know, I'll miss him, but I think he might be next to move out for me if he asks. Anyway, back to the custom design. Bones has these really strange features. He has big features. His eyes are huge, his nose is huge, and his mouth is like fairly thick. So it was kind of a problem drawing Bones because as you can see, when you make circles or ovals bigger within this custom design app, it starts getting kind of rigid, or it gets really rough looking, and I really wanted smooth eyes for Bones, but I couldn't do that. But this is the best that I could do, and it actually turned out pretty good, especially if you see it from a more farther away angle or a higher angle. But I'm pleased with how it turned out, and when it's displayed in front of his home, along with the original design that I made for him for my first custom design video, it all ends up working nicely together. So with that said, let's take another look at my catalog. And let's check on my older designs for those who may be new to my channel or new to my custom design videos. In addition to the featured villagers of this video, I also added my library sign because it was requested by a viewer in one of my other videos, and I thought that more people might want to download it as well too, because it's a really subtle sign, as you can see. But anyway, it always gets a good laugh when people visit my island. So besides the 6 villagers in this video, feel free to take note of my creator ID so you can have access to all of these designs, because besides the villagers featured in this video, I also have custom pathways as well as portraits for Sprinkle, Marshall, and this really weird complex 3-panel portrait of Snake. So take note of that and feel free to download whatever you see here. And with that said, a friendly reminder, the featured villager design ID codes will be available in the description below, as well as my creator ID for those who didn't get to write that down. And for those of you who don't know how to download these custom designs, all you have to do is visit your Able Sister shop and visit the kiosk in the back, and you'll be able to input this information in the search options. Other than that, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you happen to like this one, please feel free to view these other videos that have popped up by now. They may interest you in some way, and if you really liked hanging out with me today, please consider subscribing to be the first to know when I upload something new. I hope everyone has a great week, stay safe out there, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.